that,
What's that? Oh. Oh, yeah, you were on. You were on. Yeah. They came up. On the board. Yeah. And that can be you saw now we had.
if you were my. Did he mind? Oh. Rebecca Jones.
One mic, one mic around.
We're testing it.
Yeah.
We'll test it. So they'll want to work. I don't. It sounds like. I'm definitely doesn't know. If they don't have now, it's happening off. There it is. No, it's off. Now it's on. Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay, we're ready. Maybe. Are you ready? You're back.
Did your mic?
This might be.
Yeah, now they're working. Whatever you did. All
right.
All right.
Yeah. You're all on your own.
I'm Paris. Yeah. No, that's what it is. Formality. Good evening. Welcome to the June 9th, 2026 meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals. Please stand for a moment of silence and the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Trio, can we take the roll?
Member Brannigan.
Here.
Member Galante.
Here.
Member Johns.
Here.
Member Sharp.
Here.
And Member Mayor.
Here. Okay, our first item is not on the agenda. It is a reading of resolution number 2134 entitled, "A resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Munster, Indiana, adopting and establishing rules and policies for participation in public meetings for all governing bodies of the town of Munster. Was adopted by the town council on July 1st, 2024, pursuant to Indiana Code 514, 1.5, 3.3, entitled Public Participation in Governing Party Meeting, Adopting Reasonable Rules or Policies, Removal of Attendees. As a result, the following rules shall apply to all public meetings in the town of Munster. Number one, public comments shall be limited to 2 minutes per attendee. Number two, all public comments must be civil and constructive and related to public policy issues. Number three, all members of the public commenting in a meeting must physically sign the public speaker sign-in form and provide their name and address. Speakers will also be required to orally prove their name and address prior to commenting. I believe that should have read provide. I'm sure. Number four, an attendee who disrupts a meeting will be issued a warning from the chairperson of the town. After an attendee receives 3 warnings, the chairperson may, upon issuance of the 3rd warning, direct the attendee to leave the meeting. If the attendee refuses to leave the meeting when directed, the chairperson may contact a law enforcement officer to remove the attendee from the meeting. 5, a law enforcement officer may immediately remove an attendee from a meeting if A, removal of the attendee is necessary to maintain order or to ensure safety of those attending the meeting. B, the attendee commits a criminal offense, or C, the attendee violates the rules or policies governing the conduct of the meeting as adopted by the town. Please abide by these rules and act accordingly. Okay, moving on. We are going to have approval of minutes from the May 12, 2026 meeting. Do I have any comments or modifications? I have a question. So on page, bear with me a second here. Page 7. Last paragraph. Okay, before the finding of fact, in that section just before it, where it starts with Madam Chair Mayor. Okay, so Madam Chair Mayor asked if this plan had already, I think that should be gone to the Plan Commission. Okay, and then my second question is, Director Mendoza confirmed that the building had not yet gone before the Plan Commission for Development Plan Review, and that the current request was limited to the variances before the Board of Zoning Appeals. But what I thought was said was that it had already gone for plan review. Is that correct or incorrect?
That is incorrect.
Okay.
They appeared after, last month's meeting, and that was their first presentation.
Okay, so then my only correction is that the word one should be gone. Okay, anybody else? Can I get a motion?
Make the motion to approve the minutes of the May 12th BZA as presented,
As modified.
as with the exception of one issue.
Second.
Motion's been, or minutes have been modified and, motion's been approved and seconded. Can I have a roll call?
Member Brannigan,
Yes.
Member Galante,
Yes.
Member Johns,
Yes,
Member Sharp,
What's that?
and that's an abstain, and then Member Mayor.
Yes. Okay. So moving on, we're going to go into public hearings. Our first item is BZA 26-001, developmental standards variance for the school town of Munster. And this is to allow the replacement of required shade trees and columnar shrubs at 8823 Columbia Avenue.
Before we get started, I'm gonna recuse myself for, 6A and 6B, since I'm an employee of the school down Munster.
So I'll go ahead and start with the presentation, the briefing. No changes have occurred since your preliminary hearing. Essentially, everything has stayed the same. They are looking to replace the shade trees along 35th. They've been installed. The school has cited that these shade trees encroach into the public right-of-way sidewalk where many students walk. And the concern is providing a safety and hazardous walk area with lower branches, providing the intended shade. So they are requesting to replace the shade trees with a blue arrow juniper. They're more of a columnar tree, which will grow tall, a little bit taller, but provide screening is what they're actually wanting to accomplish from the parking lot. And they'll be set back within the connecting area. They will be replacing the same number of trees that are existing there, which meet the current code. They're just asking a variance from the type of tree itself, shade tree to a columnar tree.
Very good, thank you. Hello, Mr. Begley. Will you, state your name and address?
Sean Begley, School Town Munster Director of Operations, 9770 Indiana Parkway, Munster, Indiana.
Any questions for Mr. Begley regarding this request? None? Okay, so apparently we have no questions. So we're gonna go ahead and open the meeting to the public, so if you'll take a seat. So at this time, we'll go into public comment. Does anyone wish to step forward and make a comment on this request?
I have a question. Are your microphones on up there? 'Cause we only can hear your normal voice.
Yeah, they're off.
Are they on?
Okay.
Can you make
We
it
gotta bring
louder?
them in a little tighter.
Yeah.
You speak closer to the microphone, that's the problem.
Can you hear me now? Okay, so
Thank you.
does anyone wish to step forward and make a comment regarding this request from School Town Munster for a change in shade trees for this site at 8823 Columbia Avenue? Okay, seeing as there are none, we'll take it back to the board, and Mr. Begley, if you'd approach the podium again. At this time, you could use a motion.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve BZA 26-001. A proposed development standards variance for the school town of Munster to replace the required shade trees with columnar evergreen trees, including all discussion and findings.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we take the roll?
Member Brannigan is recused. Member Galante,
Yes.
Member Johns,
Yes.
Member Sharp,
Yes.
and Member Mayo.
Yes. Oh, one more question. Do we have the necessary confirmation of the mailing?
Yes, we did.
Oh, very good. Okay, then we are in good shape. Thank you very much. Okay, we are going to make a little switch here on the next request. We're gonna do BZA 26-003 before we do 002. So 003 is a developmental standards variance for School Town of Munster. There are 4 different requests within this variance request. 1 is for private lighting standards. 2 is for landscaping islands every 10 spaces and at the end of parking rows. Number 3 is a building standard for roof types. And number 4 is facade void area. And this is at the address of 8700 Columbia Avenue. Sergio.
So this site has been discussed for a future location of a multi-purpose rec facility and central office. They have not appeared before the planning commission for development plan review. However, they are far enough in the project to determine that they may require additional variances. So what they are proposing a variance for is one of the code requires is a parking island every 10 spaces for parking space. They are requesting a variance from that. They would like to keep the parking lot open to maximize their parking opportunities within or on campus itself. In exchange for that, they are willing to screen the parking area along Columbia Avenue with what is identified as an enhanced hedge screening mechanism, which is a wrought iron fence, very similar to what you see along 35th, like the landscaping and the trees every 30 feet. The current code under CZ does not require that type of hedge screening, and so they're asking as part of the variance as a condition, if it were to be granted, that they would install that enhanced hedge along Columbia Avenue where the proposed parking is. And the other variance that they're requesting is a facade void. This is a conceptual tentative plan of what they're proposing. The current code requires 20 to 6% facade void or fenestration, which is windows and door openings. Currently, they're proposing 10.8% of that, half of what is required. One of the recommendations made within the staff report is that it be approved with the condition that the facade facing east or towards Columbia Avenue meet the 20% requirements at minimum. So that way, what is being utilized for offices and or workout space would maintain at least 20% facade void areas facing towards Columbia Avenue. The other request that you're asking for is the change on the light head fixtures. Currently, our code requires either Coach 840 or some type of decorative design. They're requesting to move forward with a more standard, the light specs, more of a modern, sleek overhead design. They currently installed them in both the elementary schools and in existing parking lots. They wanted to maintain that same look, and they're requesting a variance for that. The other variance would be on your light fixtures. Currently, our code requires 3000 K color temperature, which is a warm light color, more on the yellow tone. They're requesting a 5000 K, which is what they currently have on site, which is more of a light or a bluish more tone, a white bluish tone, color tone in that. The other request that they're asking for is the roof pitch. Currently, our minimum requirement for a roof pitch is an 8-12. They're requesting a 2-12 roof pitch. I've outlined here overlap of what an 8-12 roof pitch would look like versus a 2-12. A 2-12 brings it down more to scale. Meeting the 8-12 brings up the building to almost 80 feet high in order to meet that roof pitch and in order to maximize the space interior for the intended use, which is a rec center or rec facility. So those are the variances that they are requesting this evening.
Thank you. Ms. Bagley, do you have anything?
No, I think Sergio, really passionate everything.
Any questions from the board?
I have a question for Sergio and Nicole. If in all the BZA 22-003, is it all lock, stock, and barrel? I have to take it all. Can I ask questions about certain pieces? Can we extrapolate?
Piece it up.
All right, you knew I would. Sorry. Apologies. I mean, I think just first of all, I guess first I should just say, what is the hardship about having the parking blocks?
The islands,
Yeah,
but the hardship is when you have, I call it the mother office building event. Boys basketball sectional was an example where our cars were parking all the way down to Franklin. And we have, the town uses this, you have Little League, you have a swim event, put a theater event. It's a hardship on our patrons because now they're parking on the street, having to walk all the way, and could be a little more of a safety concern. It also is a hardship on our neighbors because now we're parking in front of their homes. So if we can encapsulate all our parking on campus, it would, I believe, be beneficial for our neighbors and for people visiting the school.
and you feel that removing those parking islands, not blocks, would give you sufficient, or would there still be issues going on to the arteries? I live across the street. I have people park up next to our house all the time. So
And I want to stop that.
thanks, Mr. Bagley. So would that eliminate, do you feel that that would be sufficient, given, you know, the traffic and parking that we've experienced historically?
Mr. Bagley, I have a question. How many parking spaces are being, added by eliminating these items?
That calculation, I'm trying to pull it up right now. It's several, while he's pulling it up, another issue, a safety issue is when we're plowing, that snow gets piled up onto those parking lot islands. And then it becomes basically a blind. So we do have students walking out of cars, people coming out of cars, and we have some novice drivers that go through the parking lot. So to have more greater vision in the parking lot would also be preferred.
Thank you. Like, while he's looking, I do have to say, living across the street, I do really like that enhanced. It improves my view quite a lot.
We do want to be good neighbors. We want to way the school up. We've been working very hard on the branding. This Pyrick has been doing that. And you probably noticed if you look at penthouses up on Wilbur Wright, what we've done there.
Absolutely.
We got them all painted the same color. There are many, many more things we want to get done.
No, it's
fun to present.
greatly enhanced. And for those who don't know, it's a beautiful sunset over Wilbur Wright almost every night. Probably underappreciated by most.
It's 30
Not
parking,
me.
30 parking spots.
30?
30.
Okay, thank you for finding that out. I have a question for you on this, on the fenestration. The fenestration windows.
Oh, yes.
So the town, or the staff of the town is recommending that, that you comply with the requirement or the
20% in the front of the
the
building.
front, which I
East
believe would
side,
be the
yes.
east elevation,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're aware and you're
Yes.
good with that? Okay. Very good. Any other questions from the board before we go to public hearing?
Was the limitation on the windows purely financial or?
I mean, they do add up. It's the Windows version. I mean, it is a multi-purpose building and the big chunk of it is for the students in the back of it. That top story is central office, Mr. Larkin, going to save some money and utilize one space for two purposes. But that back is an athletic area where windows are just not advantageous. We'll have kids playing baseball in there, football team practicing, flags, and band can be in there, which will be a great enhancement to our basketball floor and to anything with BCT because it crushes it. So having them practice there is a great bonus. There'll be a weight room in there. So for the athletic piece of it, the windows aren't as necessary. So we're trying to minimize that in the athletic portion, but in the front where the central office is and the receiving area, where people are entering, we could enhance that with more windows.
How do you do the
I
office?
apologize for interrupt. They can't hear you back.
I'm sorry,
You can,
is this on?
it's not like you just have to look.
Oh,
There you go. Thank you.
Sorry about that, people.
How deep do the office spaces go?
It goes back, it's probably 30 feet.
Two offices?
Oh,
essentially?
oh, back here, no, I mean, there's multiple offices on that. Go to the east elevation. This will be the entire central office, and one thing that we're struggling with right now, we're kind of parsed out. I'm all the way down at the service center. Our exceptional achievers department, they're over in the MTS building behind Wilbur Wright. We have no conference rooms in the central office right now because they're average around the road. Elementary ed is in one of the full conference rooms till they're basically using the boiler. So this entire upstairs will be finance department, Dr. Hicks, human resources, the exceptional achievers, and all those support staff that will be up there.
So the plan is it's drawn right now with that elevation. Does that meet the 20% or is that windows going to have to be increased?
I'd have to do the math on that. I'm sorry, if you look at it, I
think it's like 13.5.
13.5.
So that does
So
not.
the windows,
It's not, it needs to.
the windows get larger,
Correct.
more.
Need to address that and some design solution.
Okay.
Could you achieve it on the sides if,
If you go to,
office areas?
if you go to the west elevations, there are some windows that come in here, because if you go back. Yeah, you can see here the second floor, these windows basically show the length of what the central office will be. Sorry.
Mr. Bagley, in the auditorium in the John Jefferson building, aren't there like faux windows that break up the view to the east?
There are full windows, yeah, that could.
Break up the facade a bit? And that structure is all masonry, at least?
Up to a certain point, then it's, there is, most of it is masonry, but there is some metal panel up towards the top. There's a metal roof.
I think I made my feelings clear last time. I just feel like it's a hallmark for our school. We're putting our administration in there. It's visible from Columbia as a main artery. I just feel like I drove past the high school today looking at the metal that we can't seem to maintain, and we're gonna add more metal. And I mean, it's so much better than it has been in many years, but it's just actually a problematic material. And then if we could match the job, I just.
Well,
think
you
the
notice,
longevity.
you notice the metal on the pool, that is not faded. That's not faded because it was powder coated on a factory, which this would also be. The problem we have on the rest of the building, that was painted, it was painted about 5 years ago.
I know.
And when they painted it, they said, if you paint it red, so I had a couple different products in my office, and I want to test out down by the theater to see if we can get some sort of improvement. We painted,
And I appreciate that
and it is,
because it,
and I want,
now
yeah.
even faded than it did.
And I want to do it once. I want to find something that is financially economical, that we can afford, that's going to make it look nice, and we're doing. The date, but maybe every 10 to 20 years, as opposed to every 5.
Well, doing it once is exactly my argument for this, is this is.
Yeah, I mean, this would all be put in the brick here.
So now we're brick above the second story windows?
That was, I mean, right now with the bids that we did have come in, we were trying to value engineer it, and then 33 million. We're trying to get it down.
The spaces on the first floor, the windows across there, I thought that was a hallway, but that is not a hallway.
No, that is.
That's a workout room? Okay. I wish I could see before voting on this what the proposal is at that percentage, if you comply. I just would like to visualize it. And I appreciate the fact that you're collaborative and school board is collaborative.
Perhaps,
Yes,
I'm here a lot,
yes, you do. You know, always very collaborative.
perhaps that we, table that one, and we vote on the other 3. Hopefully.
Kind of what I was thinking, you know, if, just my own
I
opinion,
mean, would that be
I'm not the
acceptable?
only one.
Well, first we
Well,
have to
yeah,
go to
we
public
have-
comment.
Okay, of course, I'm jumping.
Digress.
Okay, are we ready to go to public comment?
Yeah.
Okay, so at this time, if anyone from the audience would like to step forward to the podium and make a comment, this is the time to do so. Okay, seeing that there are none, we will bring it back to the board. So if you're ready to make a motion on the other items, entertain that.
Does anyone else on the board have questions about the parking and the making the exception with the enhanced hedge along Columbia? You just want to make sure that we ask all those questions.
So, Jennifer? Yes. Did you see these?
Oh, yeah, I've got that. Thank you. All right. So, Madam Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve to approve BZA 26-003 development standards variances from the town. Lighting standards, parking area requirements, roof pitch design. Yeah. For the school town of Munster multi-sport facility administration center, including all discussion and findings with the following conditions. Inclusive of condition 1, do I read that? Okay.
Yes, so.
Okay.
Before you, go any further, we're not gonna skip the roof pitch design. We're only going to, we're
I'll
gonna
leave it
table
below.
the building void areas. We'll motion on the other items, so. Right,
So I don't exclude that above in the motion?
so, well,
The
your
building
motion
void
is
areas?
gonna be, see these items 1 through 5?
Yes.
Your motion is going to be for items 1,
1, 3, 4, and 5.
correct, and and then specifically tabling item 2, till next month.
Did I read that incorrectly? I was just skipping over, I thought. building-
You did it right.
It was correct.
You had it right.
Okay,
Landscaping, lighting, and roof pitch is what you were guys.
okay, so I'm skipping in the first part. I'm correct to skip the building void areas?
Correct.
Okay, is that what I said?
No, you
Okay.
skipped roof pitch, I thought.
It sounds like I skipped,
You're good.
okay.
Okay.
If that's what your motion needs to say,
That is, I just
need you to say.
want to skip the building void areas above with the following conditions. 1, parking lot and landscape plan as presented be installed with the condition that the enhanced hedge along Columbia Avenue with appropriate tree species be installed within the proposed planting area, omitting 2. Do I need to read that?
Tabling,
Tabling,
void, just tabling, building void
Okay.
area.
so tabling number 2, building void areas be completed as presented with the condition that the front facade meet a minimum of 20% fenestration void. Inclusive of number 3, light head type design or similar be installed as presented with the condition that all foot candles comply with town code. Inclusive of number 4, light color temperature does not exceed 5,000 K as presented, and inclusion of number 5, roof pitch be no less than a ratio of 2 to 12 as presented.
Very good.
Thank you.
Can we get a second?
Yeah, second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we get a roll call?
Yes, member, Brannigan is abstaining or recused. Member Valente,
Yes.
member Johns,
Yes.
member Short,
Yes.
and member Mayor.
Yes. Okay, moving on.
Just for the record then, with the continuation of the building void areas and that will be the public hearing open as to that item only.
Correct.
For
Yes,
the next hearing.
Thank you.
And just so I'm clear, at the next meeting, we'll have a elevation view of with the 20%.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you then.
And we have proper notice from school town as well.
We do.
Okay, thank you. See you next time.
We're all pro it.
Oh, you're welcome.
I got mine.
Okay, so we are gonna move on to BZA 26-002. Developmental standards variance for a community foundation requesting variances. At the 800 MacArthur Planned Unit Development. 1, to increase the width of the entrance driveway from 35 feet to 52 feet, and 2, to increase the height of the emergency backup generator enclosure walls from 6 feet to 13 feet. Is there anyone here to speak on this?
Good afternoon, everybody. Dave Oddie with Power Cell, 15014 West 153rd. I think Sergio did a great job in explaining what we want to do by increasing the walls around the generator to 16 feet and increasing the opening on Braden Drive to service the dumpster enclosure and service the generators.
Mr. Audi, is it 13 feet or 16 feet?
I thought it was 16.
It's, the plan submitted show 13 with a 3-foot underneath. So I'm not sure of it. We just need clarification.
The least,
Total height is 16 feet.
16, I believe.
Okay, any questions from the board?
Could you just explain the reason for, increasing the grade and way 35 to 52?
So it'll provide easier access for Republic to access the dumpsters and pull in and out. It's more of a safety issue too. You don't want them backing up and trying to turn at the same time. So it's more of an access issue. It will be highlighted and striped. The enclosure itself will mimic the entire building, which will be the precast concrete with the striations. It'll look like it's part of all our campus.
And and the reason for the increase in the height, is,
The height,
was it always going to be an emergency backup generator?
yes, it's just an increase in height.
The generator itself?
Self, it did, yeah.
Okay,
And we want it to be enclosed.
very good, okay. Any other questions from the board?
Madam Chairman, I just want to point out that when you submit your construction drawings, then it should reflect here, you got 13 feet from here to here, and you got 16 feet from below ground up to the top. So you just want to make sure that your construction drawings.
Drawings match what we'll plan on installing.
Up, so when inspections go up, they're inspecting.
Thank you, Sergio.
Okay, so any other questions before we go to public comment? Okay, so at this time, we will open, this to the public. If anyone would like to approach the podium, make a comment, this is the time. Okay. Seeing there are none, we'll bring it back to the board. We have a motion.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion to, approve BZA 26-002, proposed development and variation petition for community foundation of NWI Inc. To increase the width of driveway entrance along graded way and increase the mechanical equipment enclosure wall height with the condition.
Sam, you have to talk into the microphone, we can't hear you.
Should I start over? Nope. No. I'm reading off of the agenda, so it's going to pull closer.
Gotta get right up on it.
Motion to approve BZA 26-002, a proposed development standards variation petition for community foundation of NWI Inc. to increase the width of driveway entrance along Braden Way and increase the mechanical equipment enclosure wall height with the condition that the petitioner complies with all traffic circulation recommendations, marking identified by the fire department and engineers, including all discussion and findings.
Let's see if that's the actual widths and the height.
Yes, so the. Oh, right, okay. So, a variance to increase the driveway parking lot entrance width from Braden Way from 35 feet to 52 feet. And number two, a variance to increase the permitted height of the mechanical equipment enclosure wall around an emergency backup generator. We decided that was 13?
16.
16, okay. Mechanical equipment from 6 feet to 16 feet.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We take rolls or deal.
Member Brannigan,
Yes.
member Galante,
Yes.
member Johns,
Yes.
member Sharp,
Yes.
and member Mann.
Yes, and we have all the appropriate notices.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Okay, we're gonna move on to preliminary hearing. Looks like BZA 26-004 has been withdrawn, so we will go to 005. This is a developmental standards variance for George Townsend, a homeowner at 1439 Fairway Drive, requesting to construct an enclosed privacy fence in an aggregate length of greater than 16 feet and a height exceeding 3.5 feet in the front yard of his property. Is anyone here to speak on this?
Right here. Good evening.
Please, provide your name and address.
My name is George Townsend. This is my wife Keegan and daughter Jane. We live at 1439 Fairway Avenue in Munster.
Okay, Sergio, do you want to give any?
Yeah, I can give the board a briefing of the project. The property owner is located on the corner lot. They currently have a fence in the existing sites that they're proposing. But they need to get a variance because the request on the variance is exceeding the permitted height. And then extending further into the front yard. So the request would be to exceed what is currently there as a even non-conforming on the fence. And so they are here requesting two variances, one being the encroachment into the front yard, and the other one being the height of the fence. You can see an existing site, they have a fence there in the front, and then along the sides there as well. Looking to propose a fence there, there's one there. But as I mentioned, they're looking to replace that existing fence that would exceed what is permitted by town code by 6 inches, and then encroach the front yard fence another 20 feet towards the street level.
Okay, very good.
And here you have in the staff report your variances and what the proposals are and what the code reads.
Okay, Mr. Townsend, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, what it comes down to is that our house, for our closing documents, was built in 1905. Predates a lot of the rest of the neighborhood. It's located, you can see on the plat there that it's shifted and doesn't have the standard backyard and side yards. So we're requesting to be able to fence in that what would be considered the front yard of that of our home. It's not atypical from the rest of the neighborhood. There's a couple other houses that have fences that come in front of the front facade, but it does technically violate the code.
So are you proposing to replace fence that you currently have, or are you putting up new fence?
We'll be replacing the deteriorating picket fence and then the chain link fence in our yard with vinyl fence.
Oh. And but no new fence?
It'll be, yeah, the whole thing will be.
No, I mean, no new locations of fence. You're putting fence, is there fence already?
No, there's not.
Oh.
There is new fence. It'll come in front of the facade a little bit further than the current fence.
So you're gonna go into your front yard.
What would be considered our front yard? Yes.
And what are you considering the front yard?
The front yard would be,
Fairway or beach?
Oh,
we consider fairway.
Okay, so the red line there is where we want the fence to go,
That's correct.
that helps me out.
And then you can see in the survey here, where the existing fence is, that's the deteriorating picket fence. And then the chain link fence runs along the back side of the property and on the west side of the property.
so you have a Fairway Avenue address. Correct, your
That's
front door is on Fairway?
Yep.
And so you want to put fence in the front yard there where there's currently no fence?
There's the picket fence that would be, I guess, considered the front yard because it technically is in front of that facade,
Okay.
but it does not enclose the yard, what we call our backyard. That's what we're looking to do, is enclose this and make it a back.
Front door.
Our front door is right here.
And it would not be the fence, you're proposing to bring the fence around and basically just have your front door and garage not fenced?
Correct. So that this would be our front door and then our backyard would be fenced in.
Is the new, I don't have a mic, it's the new fence that's fronting on Fairway, is that crossing the sidewalk or any?
No, there's no sidewalk and it's set back a good 5 to 10 feet from, there's a row of bushes here. This is actually an easement here and then the street. So it's set back a good, I'd say about 10 to 15 feet from the street.
And how tall will that be on that?
That'll be the 48 inches, the 4 foot.
And what material vinyl you said?
Yes.
So is all the fence you're going to be putting up 4 feet high vinyls?
No, it'll be 4 foot just in this front section. And then 6 foot the rest of the way around. So up,
So in that U-shaped section, it's gonna be 4 feet?
correct. Yes.
Okay.
What's
So it's
the,
gonna change, it's gonna change height where that current fence is?
Correct, right here, right where the facade of the front facade of the house is.
will that be like a picket fence, a wrought iron fence, something with some opacity, or will it be a solid fence?
It'll be a solid fence. The same material, same vinyl material as the 6 foot fence. It'll just change height.
Can you please repeat what you said about the other homes in the area?
So there's 2 other houses that we've noted in our neighborhood that have fences that exceed past the front facade with vinyl seat privacy fence.
It's in fact 2 6-foot fences that extend very significantly into the front yard that are completely opaque vinyl fences, again, in front of the facade of the house. And ours would only be 4 feet in front, and there are 2 within a half mile of our home that are 6 feet past the front of the facade of the house.
Are they also on corners?
I believe one is, yes.
The other one.
Those would be legal non.
Actually, are they both?
So they are legal non-conforming?
The other homes that she's referencing, just as their existing fences, it's legal non-conforming in that it does not comply with the current code, but it was there before the code changed in 2019. So it's grandfathered in under the current code, but they cannot extend the non-conformity in any manner, which is what they're asking to do by removing, they were just repairing, it would be one thing, but by removing and replacing, let alone that in and of itself would violate or avoid the grandfathering legal non, but also to be asking for additional source.
So the on that drawing that's on the screen, the pink highlighted lines, the only ones that are applying to this request is that U-shaped section in the front yard, correct?
Correct, I think.
Correct,
A
yeah.
variance is not required for the balance of it.
I
The
believe
front to the side.
technically the side because it's within certain, I think technically it's
Got it.
it's
It extends.
within 3 feet of the
Easement.
west side of the
And
property line.
that piece that you just pointed at, is that gonna be 4 feet or?
That'll be 6 foot.
That's gonna be 6.
And that currently has chain link there.
I have a picture of it if that would be helpful. You can pass this down. So this is the chain link fence that would be on the west side of the property that we replaced. And then the 4 foot privacy fence would extend between the rose bushes and the tree.
So this chain link fence would be a 6-foot privacy fence. Is there access to this section of your yard from the house?
Or, yes,
It's just hard to be.
you can technically, there's a little alley.
Oh,
That's that.
So it would go between. In between the,
this is the easement.
yeah, it would come along here and go behind this row of shrubs that were there.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm proposing this. I'm wondering whether you would think about making that 4 feet and having some opacity, more like a picket fence, more like the wrought iron fences that we see around town, something like that.
It is gonna be 4 foot. And the intent was to just keep it the same. So that was what we, or that's how we came to the proposal that we have.
Okay, does anybody have Any further questions? We need to set this for public hearing.
So just really quickly, or would in our new proposed zoning code, don't we have something in there regarding fencing, opacity in the front that would ultimately allow it?
The new zoning code permits, front yard fences with a 10-foot setback, the 2-foot setback from where the sidewalk exists or when would be installed, with a 50% opacity.
50?
Is there a height restriction on that?
3.5 feet. It's 4, sorry, 4.
Okay, so tell me that again.
The new zoning code, the proposed zoning code proposes a, permits fences in the front yard, no taller than 4 feet, in height, and, with a 50% opacity. And 10 foot, or sorry, 2 feet back from where a sidewalk exists or where one is.
So,
That will apply to both sides of the property, facing the customer.
okay, and the 50% opacity, are we talking about like a fence that, like in the case of a vinyl fence, that would be like every other board?
Yes.
That would meet
That would meet the 50%.
That would meet the 50%.
There could be a coordinating, essentially coordinating. And that will bring them into compliance with the new code that doesn't exist.
That's correct.
That's proposed.
That's proposed. May not, that may not.
Right, it may not ever.
Yeah, let alone any specific provision.
Okay, okay, something to think about. Okay, do we have a motion?
More thing is that what's on the other side, the neighbor's house, driveway there?
On the north side?
No, I'm sorry, you're right there, yeah.
Yeah, there's a U-shaped driveway and then their main driveway is over to the east. They have both a U-shaped and a oval driveway.
So for the next meeting, can you bring pictures of, your house at their yard as well as your next door neighbors on both sides, fairway and deep?
Would it be helpful to have them now or do you want them for next week? I have them.
Submitted to staff.
If you can,
Yeah, submit them to the staff.
Okay. that's
And
fine.
also like a picture of the fence, product itself, like,
Sure.
color, material, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Many visual.
Okay.
Thank you.
And it might not be a bad idea to look at the 50% opacity options there.
Sure.
Okay. Are we ready for a motion?
Yes. Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to schedule BZA 26-005, a development standards variance petition for the property located at 1439 Fairway Drive to allow a fence in the front yard for a July 14th, 2026 public hearing, including all findings and discussion.
How about a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second.
Member Brannigan,
Yeah.
member Galante,
Yes.
member Johns,
Yes.
member Sharp,
Yes.
and member Mayor.
Yes. This council, you'll work with the town and send out notification to your neighbors.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
See you next time. Okay, we have no findings of fact. We have no other business, and the next regular business meeting is July 14th, 2026. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And all in favor? Aye.
We're going to see, there's up there, same side.
Right over here, baby. Hi. Hi, how are you?
Good guy. Good to see you.
Yeah.
You don't want to look at the screen. Never thought of it. Well, you probably know you're gonna
But that one basically just. Okay.
All right, Counselor. We want to this look up.
January 9th.
You gotta really be right on it and talk about it.
Can't get more on it than this. You guys must want to do my bad voice.
Speak up and speak into the microphone.
Speak into the microphone.
There you go. Thank you.
Welcome to Munster. Everybody is a little gray hair. It's great. I did appreciate this. And we're going to call this meeting of the Munster Plan Commission to order for Tuesday, June 9th, 2026, believe it or not. Let's all stand for a moment of silence and the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Those are nice to see you. Speaking into the microphone, will you call roll, please?
Counselor Schinkin, in today, Counselor Hopper. Here. Counselor Nellens,
Present.
Commissioner Brannigan,
Here.
Commissioner Johns,
Here.
Commissioner Rappin,
Here.
and Commissioner Baker.
Present. Next up, I'm going to read a resolution from the town council, so everybody please pay attention as I speak into the microphone. A resolution of the town council of the town of Munster adopting and establishing rules and policies for participation in public meetings for all governing bodies of the town of Munster. As resolution 2134 was adopted by the town on July 1st, 2024, pursuant to Indiana Code 514-153, entitled Public Participation in Governing Party Meeting, adopting reasonable rules or policies, removal or of attendees. This is public sector rate. As a result, the following rules shall apply to all public meetings in the town of Munster. Number one, the public comment should be limited to 2 minutes per attendee. 2, all public comments must be civil, constructive, and related to the public policy issues. 3, all members of the public commenting on a meeting must physically sign the public speaker sign-in form and provide their name and address. Speakers will also be required to orally provide their name and address prior to comment. Number 4, there's only 5. Number 4, an attendee who disrupts a meeting will be issued a warning from the chairperson, that's me, the town, great. After an attendee receives 3 warnings, the chairperson may, upon issuance of the 3rd warning, direct the attendee to leave the meeting. If the attendee refuses to leave the meeting, when directed, the chairperson may contact a law enforcement officer to remove the attendee from the meeting. Please. Law enforcement, number 5, the law enforcement officer may immediately remove an attendee from a meeting if A, removal of the attendee is necessary to maintain order or to ensure public safety of those attending the meeting. B, the attendee commits a criminal offense, or C, the attendee violates the rules or policies governing the conduct of the meeting as adopted by the town. Please abide by these rules and act accordingly. Respect to you, respect to us, and we'll get through this thing very, very simply. Moving right along, next up is the approval of minutes from
May 12th, 2026, what say you?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from May 12th.
I'll second that motion.
There's a motion and a second, any discussion? Either none, Mr. Mendoza.
Counselor Hopper,
Yes.
Counselor Nellens,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Johns,
Yes.
Commissioner Rappin,
Yes.
and Commissioner Baker.
Yes. All right, let's roll. First up is a public hearing. This is PC 26-003, a development plan review. Dave Adi with the Community Foundation requests review of a development plan submitted for changes required for the final design of the building and site at 802 MacArthur Boulevard. Mr. Mendoza.
About a year ago, the, community hospital, received a development plan approval, to add a 5-story, a 4-story, 5-story, medical office building. They have returned, and requested additional variances from the Board of Zoning, Board of Zoning Appeals, which were granted. The request now is that what was previously approved was the proposed 5-story building would be attached to the existing structure. They're now proposing to not have that proposed 5-story building attached to the existing structure. Essentially, they would be creating a pedestrian corridor between the two buildings. However, the proposed building will be connected to the existing parking garage. The other items that they are requesting to amend and was previously approved on the development plan was additional landscaping. So they're increasing the landscaping requirements for what was previously approved. Here in the landscaping plan, you can identify additional green space, and particularly the connections to the buildings and or pedestrian areas, especially along the interior corridor that they're separating between the existing building and proposed building. The variances that they received approval on was the widening access points off of Braden Way into the existing parking lot. They received approval for a 36 feet wide to 52 feet wide driveway, I believe. The point of that was to access the existing equipment. They're proposing 2 8-ton dumpster roll-offs, I believe, to accommodate the 5-story medical office building, and a generator that they would like to also screen with a 13-foot high fence. The BZA granted, I believe it was a 16-foot high fence that they are proposing at 13 feet. So we had previous discussions between the meetings, but essentially this is what they got approved for, and that's what they're presenting for development plan approval by the planning commission.
Thank you. Any questions from the board of staff? All right, it's a public hearing. So if anybody would like to speak on this, I'll open up the public hearing. Please come to the microphone, state your name and address if you'd like to speak on this petition and help us. All right, I'm gonna close the public hearing, and if you can bring the petitioner up there. Is there anybody from the petitioner like to speak on this? And I'll bring the public hearing back if you want to hear.
Brian Sluter, construction manager for Community Hospital Powers Health. Here this evening to represent the request for the 2 changes. Mainly for the widening of the entrance into the parking lot. The purpose of that is to allow the garbage trucks to have easy access to the dumpster enclosure where the dumpsters will be at. There'll be 2 8-yard dumpsters. Allow them to get access to the dumpsters and not have to maneuver several times to get to it. We're increasing the height of the enclosure of the generator to shield and block the view of the generator. So we had initially put the PUD standards at 6 or 7 feet. The generator being at 13 feet, we wanted to screen it entirely. And the generator is at 13 feet, so we just wanted to cover the generator, and the panels that'll be used for that screening will match the building, so it'll look continuous with the building and the entire campus at Community Hospital.
Thank you. Any questions for the petitioner?
Yes, you got a question? I was gonna make the motion to send a favorable recommendation to the town council for PC 26-003, a proposed updated PUD development plan for an 802 MacArthur 5-story medical office building with the condition that the proposed BZA variances and conditions are met, including all discussion and findings.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I'll second.
And a second. Any discussion? Right, this is sent into the council. Going once, going twice, Mr. Mendoza.
Counselor Hopper,
Yes.
Counselor Nellens,
Yes.
Commissioner Brannigan,
Yes.
Commissioner Johns,
Yes.
Commissioner Rappin,
Yes.
Commissioner Bacon.
Yes, moving right along, next up is PC 26-004. A development plan review, Matt Kimball, Centennial Village request review of a development plan on proposed lot 12 for a 10,361 square foot medical office building to be commonly known as 9511 Calumet Avenue. Mr. Mendoza.
Let me see if, the applicant is maybe in mind. Essentially, nothing has changed from the last, proposal that was submitted. At the preliminary hearing, they're here now for public hearing. They are proposing the University of Chicago Medicine, office there on the corner. Previously approved was the grocery, Sprouts Market with the Bennett Chase. They are here for approval on that. They comply with all of their, PUD standards, that were previously approved. Those are the renderings that they're proposing, lighting structures, lighting specs, landscape plan. So that is essentially what they're proposing, was previously discussed, but they're eager to start moving forward with the SWIP. And so they're wanting to construct all the buildings, simultaneously or within the same proximity time of construction. And so they're seeking for development plan approval.
Any questions for Mr. Mendoza? Mr. Mendoza, this is a one-story, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Mendoza, have you heard a timeline yet on Chase Bank and Sprouts start this?
I have not, but perhaps maybe, I suspect the last thing I knew was that they're waiting for a SWIP, which is under review by our engineer, and once they start that, they would start coordinating the site. I suspect that they, would probably anticipate a year, out, for opening, possibly next fall, maybe, I'm not sure.
And in so much as this is a PUD, this is a recommendation to the council. Any other questions for staff?
So you're saying this isn't necessarily a one at a time building construction situation. They could build all three.
My understanding is that they would like to start working, maybe not all three at the same time, maybe start one month, and, you know, I'm not quite sure the timeline.
Yeah.
So, but,
Okay. I think we're all probably most interested.
yeah.
Anything else for staff? Either none, is there somebody to speak on the petitioner's behalf? Say that 5 minutes, please.
I'm here.
You're here.
This is Russ Pose with DVG, to answer any questions. Obviously, we've submitted all the documents. We're on par with the PUD, and I guess if you have questions, I'm here to answer.
Mr. Pose, I have a question. Is the work on Calumet Avenue a part of this particular building construction?
The work, I would say the Calumet Avenue work is a part of my overall Sprouts development plan set. But all of the work is generally going to be done at the same time.
Thank
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
You heard a comment or question regarding start date and Sprouts and Chase? Do you have anything that you can add to the conversation?
To answer that question, yes, Sergio has it hit on the head here. Once we get our SWIP approval from the town, we are going to coordinate and start construction. And Matt does intend to really construct all three buildings generally at the same time.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the petitioner? All right, be there none, this is a public hearing. If you'd like to speak on this particular petition, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Going once, going twice. This has to do with the PUD recommendation of the council. What say you?
Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve, make a motion for a favorable recommendation of town council for PC 26-005.
There's a motion. Is there?
Sorry. 004.
Oh, that was 004?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, 26004. Yeah.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, this is favorable to the town council to change the PUD for this one. There's a motion and a second, Mr. Mendoza.
Counselor Hopper.
Yes.
Counselor Nellens.
Yes.
Commissioner Brannigan.
Yes.
Commissioner Johns.
Yes.
Commissioner Braffin.
Yes.
And Commissioner Baker.
Yes. We'll keep going. All right, next up is a public hearing for PC 26-005, the Town of Munster zoning ordinance and zone map. The Town of Munster requests consideration to partially repeal the zoning ordinance and related zone map, adopt the Unified Development Ordinance and official zone map as replacement, and amend the article name and section numbers of the subdivision control ordinance for the Town of Munster. The petition requests consideration of the following: one, partial repeal of Munster zoning ordinance number 1788, including any amendments. Related zone maps, specifically divisions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 of Article 11 zoning character-based codes of chapter, 6. I went to public. Zoning character-based code of chapter 26, land development code of Munster Code of Ordinances. Part Ordinance 1788, December 23rd, 2019, and any amendments thereto together with any associated maps to extend applicable to such divisions. You know, they do this up. Number two, adoption of the Unified Development Ordinance, UDO, as a replacement zoning ordinance for the Town of Munster. 3, adoption of a replacement zone map. 4, adoption of a floodplain regulation for the Town of Munster, incorporated into and referenced by the UDO. And 5, amendment of the article name and section numbers within chapter 26, article 5, doctrine, to be changed from article subdivisions to article 5 to Unified Development Ordinance, and all section numbers to be renumbered as shown in division 7 of the proposed UDO. Mr. Mendoza, follow that.
Okay, I'm gonna be briefer than yours. Essentially what happened is 2 years ago, the council directed, staff to update or roll back essentially our current character-based code to the Euclidean format, which was pre-2019. At that time, during the review of the Euclidean code, we determined that it was not sustainable for the community in the sense that it no longer was supported through state statute changes and or case law. And so the town moved forward with what has been moving towards many communities as a UDO. UDO is essentially something that happened early at the turn of this century. Euclidean codes is what happened at the turn of the last century, just for reference in that sense. And we've determined that UDO is the best format to move forward, framework to move forward with the town. Essentially, these UDOs have been in effect for over 20 years, maybe 25 years. I do recall this graduating from college and this being the thing in 1998, 1999. And so here we are now moving forward with the UDO. Also, it is also supported through the strategic plan that was identified and adopted recently by the town council for those efforts in making it more streamlined and accessible and readable for the new businesses, existing businesses, and residents and developers alike. So we have updated the entire code, or majority of the sections of that entire code for consideration by the Plan Commission as a recommendation to the town council. And so we have had much feedback and comments from the public, which we were able to receive up to 4 p.m. today. We do have some submissions to turn over to you, Commissioner Baker, with regards to the public hearing once that comes in, or once you open it up.
So for the public sector, do I have to read all of those into the public record?
No, they're part of the record.
Thank you.
For your consideration review.
Thank you. All right, any questions for staff with regards to this petition? No?
we are in the process of updating our zoning code. And this update is designed to promote that type of development that benefits the entire community. And nevertheless, within the last week and a half, something emerged in the draft of the UDO that caught my attention. It is language about a data center. And I've done some research. Data centers are typically very large structures, up to 1 million square feet, and they are locked down like Fort Knox. My concern is the following. Where are the extrinsic benefits? Is a data center something that's going to attract people to Munster? The research that I put in alarms me. It suggests that a data center might be something that repulses people from our community. That's not the trade-off that our community wants or is entitled to. Consequently, this language that's been included for data centers in the UDO, I believe, based on its recent introduction, it is too soon for the Planning Commission to act on this. I believe that this matter should be deferred, tabled, possibly even denied with this data center language. I do not believe that data centers meet the threshold of the trade-off that our residents are entitled to have, and I would urge this commission to not take action on this at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Christine Clarion. I'm the proud homeowner of 241 Briar Lane in Munster. And I'm speaking tonight regarding agenda item PC 26-005. As you consider updates to the Unified Development Ordinance, I'd like to emphasize that regulations are meaningless without teeth attached to them. What the last 18 months have taught me is that we can't rely on people, organizations, our government, and our elected officials to adhere to norms and doing the right thing. Regarding 26-5-5-11, the UDO must include written, strictly enforceable, and high financial penalties for any violation, especially regarding noise. Data centers are notoriously loud, have a constant hum of cooling systems, and can severely disrupt the quality of life for nearby residents. The facility violates the noise ordinance, the financial penalty must be high enough to force immediate compliance rather than just being viewed by these massive tech companies as the cost of doing business. When I looked at the 3-page part regarding data centers, with part A, it says that there's establishing clear and enforceable standards. But again, what are the penalties? Again, we can say we've learned that what's the norm. It doesn't matter anymore. People will do whatever they want unless there are consequences that make it, adverse for them to continue with whatever they're doing. Section C6, what's the specific definition of minimizing impacts on the local water supply? It's not defined anywhere. Section C9, what happens if they don't submit with the town's stormwater management and clean water regulation? Who's enforcing this? Who's monitoring this regularly? Section C12, what's the ongoing plan for us to be monitoring the preliminary operation and maintenance plan for the data centers? Are they telling us in advance what the maintenance is and we're just taking their word on it? Again, who's watching out for these things? Section C17, all proposed or requested financial incentives. If the city's going to get financial, I want to know where every single dollar of that financial benefit goes. I want a breakdown of every single penny.
We'll wrap it up, please.
Okay, so again, just in summary, if we're looking at noise, if the backup generators run on diesel, they'll be over 55 decibels, so therefore they can't be allowed per your own regulations.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
My name is David Dornberg. I live at 9919 Twin Creek Boulevard. I'm also the chairman of the Munster Sustainability Committee. I'm speaking on behalf of the committee in reference to section 26-5-5-13 edible gardening use regulations. We recommend to remove the 50% cap on the side and rear gardens. Reconsider or remove the 25% on the front yard gardens. Replace percent garden limits with maintenance and nuisance-based standards. Remove the restrictions limiting plants to vegetables, fruit, and herbs. Add invasive species protections, retain reasonable setback requirements. This ordinance presents an opportunity to support residents in responsible, sustainable land use by focusing on maintenance, safety, and environmental stewardship. Rather than rigid restrictions, the town can balance neighborhood character with personal property rights and evolving community needs. Taking a more flexible, modern approach would also ensure that our local policies align with current best practices and national trends rather than reinforcing outdated and unnecessarily restrictive models that many communities are actively moving away from. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, good evening. My name is Kara Carter. I'm a resident at 8428 Parkview Avenue here in Munster. I'm also a member of the Community Garden, the Munster Garden Club, and I'm on the Park Board. I have a vested interest in our green spaces around town, and I think the best green space is our own yard. I'd like to echo a lot of what Dave just said about edible gardens. I think we ought to have few restrictions and only those that keep us being good neighbors. One restriction that I know might kind of walk a gray line there is the requirement to have that setback 3 feet from a property line. We have a lot of great established gardens in my neighborhood and in neighborhoods around our town that are beautiful and that are definitely within 3 feet of the lot lines. I think especially if you look at some other municipal codes, if you have a fence and your garden is on your side of the fence, it should be accepted. But I think there are other ways that we can accomplish that goal and make sure we can still garden in our town. In addition to what Dave said, I wanted to also point out in the fencing section, it is subpart D4E on landscape establishment fencing. You say we can only have fencing up around a plant for 6 weeks as it's getting established. I find that to be way too low. If you have a tree sapling, for instance, I get 1 or 2 year tree saplings because they're cheap and I can afford them. I keep a little fence around it as it's growing so the bunnies don't chew on it. And so it can grow and become a mature tree that makes our neighborhood so great. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Sorry, just writing down my head. Hello, my name is Kevin Melton, 8202 Jackson Avenue. So today I'm speaking on PC 26006. So I'm talking on behalf of Just Transition Northwest Indiana as well.
Wrong petition.
Wrong. Okay. Never mind.
Are you addressing the video, 826005?
No, I'm not.
Okay, next petition that I'm assuming.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name's Ellen Dunn and I live at 443 Fisher Street, and this is regarding the PC 26005, the UDO. Honestly, I can't say anything better than that woman said. The first woman, I just moved to Munster 6 years ago. I fled Cook County and I'm so happy to live in Munster, in this beautiful town, in this awesome state of Indiana. And I really do not want an AI data center in my neck of the woods because it's actually on my property. So that's all I have to say, and God bless Munster and God bless you all.
Yes, sir.
Hi, good evening. My name is Bill Connor. I'm a Munster resident. I live at 9953 Twin Creek
Boulevard, sometimes referred to as the DASA strip or the drag strip of Munster. But anyway, good evening. So yesterday I submitted a written comments to the Plan Commission in the form of my Eyes on USA newsletter regarding the proposed Kinmara Technology Park. I appreciate the opportunity to briefly speak tonight. I believe local government works best when major decisions are based on clear facts, open records, and honest transparency. The Kinmara Technology Park proposal is an important local development issue.
Apologize, sir.
Oh.
You speak about, you're here on Kenmar, not on the UDO?
Yes.
Next one.
Next.
I'll wait. Okay, I apologize. Sorry.
And isn't Kinmara a preliminary?
It is a preliminary hearing, so there's not public comment.
Sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Renee Burgos, from 8525 Barron Avenue, and I hope I'm speaking on the correct, UDO here. I'd like to address limiting, homeowners to 4 chickens in the backyard. I believe it's unnecessary and overreaching. I have had hens for the past several years, with zero neighbor complaints, 0 vermin issues, and 0 smell issues because I practice animal husbandry. I have no roosters, so there are no early morning calls. And I just want to say our current nuisance-based code has worked well for me and my neighbors for the past 3 years. And keeping the current distance that is allowed on lot lines has worked well for me and my neighbors as well. And I can't add to some of the great things that have been said. Also, the gardening issue, I think it is overreaching, particularly in homeowners' backyards to limit to 50% of edible gardens. That doesn't really concern me because I have a lot of concrete and I'm not a great gardener. But I just feel as a lifelong Munster resident, I love this town and I would love for it to continue to be the kind of friendly, beautiful, happy town that it is. And thank you all. Really appreciate your work.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
From Anthony Christopher, 1908 Martha Street. The 2 minutes, I had a good speech here about sign code, but the 2 minutes threw me for a loop, so I'm going to summarize. The proposed plan in front of you is over 200 pages. 48 of those pages are actually about the sign ordinance. I'm happy to work with the town staff, officials, and local business owners over the last 3 years to make the town sign code more efficient and streamlined for businesses. So I started looking through that, and there's one thing I'll highlight in that, and I'm kind of nitpicking. But when I look at page 203, corrugated fiberboard is prohibited. All right, as someone who works closely with businesses throughout the town, corrugated fiberboard is commonly used in professional A-frame signs. It is cost-effective, easy to replace, and allows businesses to promote special events, seasonal offerings without a significant expense. On page 174, you already addressed the maintenance standards. They're supposed to be kept in good condition, repaired when damaged, and maintained their professional appearance. So I believe prohibiting it is kind of a, we're going in circles here. One of the challenges with documents that run hundreds of pages is things tend to sneak their way in. I was happy with a lot of what I was reading until page 215. Page 215 to 217, it establishes ordinance and regulations on real estate signs. There's size, height, number of allowed signs, and I'm not really here to push back on those. However, the ordinance also introduces time restrictions and a permit required for real estate signs. As written, a property owner would need a permit to market their property for sale. In my opinion, requiring a property owner to obtain permission from the government before placing a for sale sign is an effective tax on your ownership. I understand the desire to maintain community standards, and I support reasonable regulations related to size, placement, and safety, but I do not believe we should create any new fees.
Mr. Christopher, time.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll send you the rest.
Sounds like there's more. Anyone else that'd like to speak on this particular petition, please?
Oh.
Alright, okay, now I got my act straight. Talking about. BZA.
Yes, sir. May I have your name and address, please, Mr. Nolte?
Yes. BC 6005. I have heard that there's a regulation that's based on data centers in the zoning ordinance, if there were to be a data center being built. So personally, I haven't looked at the data center regulation in the zoning code, but it is probably not good as enough as not building any data centers at all. Especially as a young person, these data centers are being built to replace my job, being built to fund AI surveillance, being built to replace artists, replace creativity. I don't want Munster land being used for that. So I'd rather have the zoning code say data centers are not allowed. If this data center creates less air pollution, less water pollution, it's still pollution, and I would say that you should just not have data centers in those fields.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mike BZA, 221 Carnation Street. Sorry, I'm in Dyer Road. So I'm actually gonna follow up with Anthony Christopher's sentiments regarding BC 26005 in relationship to signage for commercial realtors, as I am such. And yeah, I think that this market, majority of businesses are privately owned, and majority of those transactions take place with broker to broker relationships. I spent the afternoon in Fort Wayne looking at development sites, looking for off-market properties with for sale signed by owner, and wouldn't be able to do that and, you know, establish good rapport with my customers. And I've got two tenants for the Homan Avenue and Ridge Road property working on leases for the elusive cookies and cars space. Wouldn't have happened if I didn't have a sign out there. So the guy doesn't use the internet, doesn't have email. So he's gonna have a great business there, but just 2 cents on it. So, thanks.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I am Evan Hubbard and I live at 8139 Castle Drive. And I'm speaking about PC 26-006. And I would just like to talk about this data center in general. And
You mean 005?
So speak on petition 005.
okay, so basically, I feel like you don't, as a town, we don't need to maximize everything that we have. Not every single space that we have in this town needs to have something built on it and something to replace on it. Green space, and this will pollute our water, and that will be good. Like, think about it, in 5 or 10 years, and I think these data centers are made to last 20 to 30 years structurally and 10 to 15 years internally. That's a long time. I will be in my late 20s when that stuff is. Oh
my God.
Think about that. And I think that my kids might have to experience that, and that's just not right. Like, I don't want my family, my future family, if I choose to have one, to have to deal with the madness of a loud, big, bulky data center that will cost us as a town to build and to keep up, and it won't be good. Thank you.
Well done, Mr. Hubbard. Really proud of you.
Yes, sir.
Hello, good evening. My name is Dr. Harsh Dalal. I have lived at 9147 Elmwood Drive since 1983. And I've also practiced at community hospitals since 1985. And I think that I've raised 3 daughters who all studied at our Munster high schools. 2 of them became physicians and 1 of them went to MIT. So what I'm trying to say is that Munster is a beautiful town and we should keep it that way. I think introducing a data center might increase a lot of electric bills in the future. It will also not, let's just keep it as a residential facility. And that's what I would urge all of you to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Hello, my name is Noel Ward. I live at 1212 England Ave. I've been in Munster for about 6 years. Specifically, I want to speak on PC 26005, section 26-5-5-11 about data center use regulations. I work in commercial real estate development, specifically with car washes and quick service restaurants across Illinois and Michigan. And one thing that I know is I read a lot of city codes, a lot of ordinances. And I see a lot of set rules in place for different uses. For instance, if you're a car wash, your sound decibels can't be a certain amount past a certain lot line. If you extrude more than 15,000 gallons a day of wastewater, you're held to a higher standard when it comes to your sewage system and how you discharge that water. Having water reclamation is often required. And I feel that section 265-5-11 is really insufficient when it comes to establishing some benchmark rules or guardrails for this type of use in the UDO. I specialize in water reclamation for car washes. The best systems reclaim about 50 to 60% of water. There's estimates that there's 80 to 90% reclamation in the future, but those systems are not yet fully tested and operational. And the other thing that's hard about this is that even with the best reclamation systems, you're going to be bleeding 10 to 20% of that water permanently through evaporation. Since I moved here, my electric bills have gone up by more than 150%, despite every single effort to better energy proof my home. And I have a lot of really big concerns about how this impacts our utilities. And I really feel that the UDO does not do enough to address those specific concerns for specific use. There's more guardrails in place for drive-throughs and other things, which are important, but we should have some other guardrails along this specific use as well, if it's going to stay in the UDO. Thank you for your time. Yes, sir.
Hi there, Ryan Dean, 8222 White Oak Avenue, Munster, Indiana. One of the big things that this UDO that I'm looking at right now doesn't really address as much as the housing crisis that we're currently facing. What I'm seeing on this is that there's zero space being put forward for any R4 multifamily housing besides the ones that are already existing and possible PUD spaces. Right now, at the 2020 census, Munster was at the average was a median age of 44 years old. That has now basically on new estimates of the World Population Review as about 47, 48 years old, which makes us the oldest in Lake County. Families want to move to Munster. Absolutely true. The schools are great, they're fantastic, great place to live, but can't due to the lack of housing options. Seniors want to stay in Munster and downsize, but they don't have anywhere to move. Young professionals can't establish themselves in Munster and take advantage of the new train line. So why did we put that train line in? You know, during the master planning session, overwhelmingly people want mixed use development. And we aren't asking for 10-story buildings, just options for all residents and for everyone to be able to enjoy the amenities that Munster offers. And just to finally say, like, a lot of these problems could have been resolved by having public meetings when we had through the last zoning changes, but this was hidden from public oversight for almost 2 years now. So thank you very much.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Myron Larimer from 8346 Greenwood Avenue here in Munster. Just my understanding, having worked in zoning, having worked in real estate, that UDOs, they basically blanket or umbrella certain categories of businesses, development, things like that, into a pool that you cannot deny access to if it's already in the zoning ordinance under that UDO. Something like the data center is very dangerous to put in there and blanket, because then it takes really the review by the community away from the people, away from the council, because their hands are then tied. So UDOs are really good for some things, but in this instance, putting a data center under the UDO basically takes our hands away from being able to look at it, touch it, feel it before it goes in. And I think it really is something that should not be included in the UDO, and the UDO itself really needs to be examined very closely. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good evening. I'm Rabbi Leonard Zupro. I live at 8233 Monroe Avenue. I'd like to quote Genesis 2:15. The Lord God took man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work and take care of it. Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak on this matter, folks? Going once.
Is she up there speaking?
No, I'm working. No, that's the thing, she's working. If you'd like to speak, just come up, man.
Oh, at least I know.
Hi, I'm Christine G. I live at 80.
Yes, ma'am, will you speak to the microphone, because those folks in the back are gonna yell if you don't.
Hi, I'm Christine G. I live at 8132 Shriver Drive. I would like to just echo what Jonathan said about not making a decision on the UDO and all of the changes until every single resident can understand exactly what it means. The other thing that has not been brought up by any resident. The other thing that has not been brought up by any resident are short-term rental, otherwise known as Airbnb, VRBO, etc. They are all throughout our town. We have homes that these two young men cannot buy because we have investors coming in. Towns like Naperville ban them. Hinsdale have to have longer than 90 days. Arlington Heights, longer than 30 days. Arlington Heights was smart. They did that before the Bears are going to have their stadium there. If they come to Indiana, everyone's going to be partying down in Munster, and not just in the tiny houses, in all of your neighborhoods too. So I believe that short-term rentals should be banned. As far as gardening, I mean, why is food unsightly? Who cares if it's in the front yard, the side yard, or the backyard? If you know how to garden, you know that you need one thing, and that's sun. For some people, that's in their front yard. And if you don't like looking at it, drive right on by. The other thing, I feel that there's a lot of unethical, incestuous relationships going on that we don't know about, in the town, residents don't know about, with respect to who's writing the codes, who our attorneys are, and it just seems like, what's going on? So I think everybody needs to understand who is doing what and what those relationships are. So again, no short-term rentals. What are the relationships with everybody? From what I understand, our town attorney is the data center guy. Gardens, food should not be unsightly and we should grow what we want.
Your comment.
Go, Jonathan.
Once again, I'd like to apologize everyone for making a mistake the first time up. I'll speak about the UDO. And quickly, I'll keep it very short. My request is very simple. Again, my name is Bill Connor, 9953 Twin Creek Boulevard in Munster. My request is simple. Please consider creating one dedicated public webpage where residents can easily find related documents, including the proposal, staff reports, ordinances, exhibits, meeting information, public comments, developmental agreements, fiscal impact information, and utility or infrastructure related materials as it relates to any potential or possible data center coming to the town of Munster. That's all I simply ask. Keep us informed. We want to trust you guys. You guys work hard. You're public servants. We appreciate what you do, but we also ask, we need your help with this to keep us fully informed of what's going on. Thank you so much.
Don't lie to us.
Don't lie. Come on up here and talk.
Yeah.
All right. All right, anybody else like to come up and speak at the microphone? Going once? Going twice? I'm gonna close the public hearing, bring it back to the board.
Mr. President, I just wanted to submit for the record, we have 120 emails that we received within the last, week on, comments regarding the UDO. So
Can't hear ya.
Can't hear anything.
So there's
It's on the mic, but I'm submitting 120 emails that were received within the last week, to the record, for the records, okay?
So
There you go.
consider them done. All right, brought back to the board. This is PC 26-005.
I want to make a motion. I'd like to keep it clear, though. I'm not supporting anybody that is suggesting anything other than, what we think we should do as a commission, but I'm motioning to defer PC 26055, a proposed repeal and replace PC 26-005, a proposed repeal and replace sections of the Munster character-based zoning code ordinance and continue the public hearing to July 14, 2026, including all discussions and findings.
There's a motion.
That motion.
There's a motion and there's a second. Is there any discussion?
I would just like to thank you all for coming. I think it's clear that you're all very passionate about your town, as are we. And, I think we agree that there is more work to be done and, we'll continue to need collaboration and that you will also please come to other plan commission meetings. Please, this is really great turnout. So sometimes we only have a handful of people, so please continue to be active in your town.
Any other discussion?
I would like to say that this is a piece of work that has been worked on very diligently, very long hours, and just a tremendous amount of hard work. And, kudos to the majority of our staff with Miss Bennett, Nicole Bennett, and Sergio Mendoza, and the rest of the staff in the Community Development Department. That being said, is that all the commissioners are not here. I think it's important that everybody gets to record their vote. Commissioner Counselor Schinkin was not here, so that's important. That's one of the reasons I suggested to defer it. There are issues that may need to be clarified and people have more questions so that we can go further with that. And, to answer the question of the last gentleman, we do have a communications director now, and we are actively working on producing a more friendly website to get information requested and information that will be presented so that all this stuff is as transparent as we can be. And that's our goal all the time, is to be transparent. So that's all I have to say.
No. Mr. Chairman, I know there's a motion and a second. I know we opened and closed the public hearing. I would encourage this commission to public hearing, open future discussions to allow the public to speak.
That's part of his motion.
Oh, so it's part of it.
That will be part of it because of it being continued. Mr. Ackerman, if you want to address why Mr. Schenken's not here,
Just what?
why Mr. Schenken's not here?
Oh, he was on vacation?
Well, he's flying back, right? We stuck on the.
Oh,
Back
yeah,
and
yeah,
forth.
so he was on a trip and his flight was delayed and he's not here. Of course.
I'd like to also thank each of you for being here, and we certainly heard everything that you said. And that's also why I'm proposing that we have this delay to defer it so that we can have some further reading. I'd like to understand a little more about the vegetables and there's a number of things here that, we want to further understand and have the opportunity to review. So again, I want to thank each of you for being here. And we did, as mentioned, the public hearing will be continued on to July 14th.
Any other comments? We have a motion and a second, Mr. Mendoza.
Counselor Hopper.
Yes.
Counselor Nellens.
Yes.
Commissioner Brannigan.
Yes.
Commissioner Johns.
Yes.
Commissioner Rappin.
Yes.
Commissioner Baker.
Yes. All right, see you next month. Next up is preliminary hearings, PC 26-006, the PUD amendment, Gary Warble with Spin Munster LLC request to amend ordinance number 2000 wants to establish standards for bulk design and use this only for the Comerica County Park in July. Located at the address commonly known as S of 400 and 440 Fisher Street. Mr. Mendoza.
So this is a.
You only said Mendoza.
So this is a preliminary hearing for the Camaro site. Back about 9 months ago, the developer or the property owner, appeared before the planning commission requesting a rezone of the property. The property was rezoned from a CD4B to a PUD. At that time, only the uses were established, for that, and they emulated exactly what was identified in the state code for a technology park. Since then, the applicant submitted the property owner submitted an application on May 14th, May 14th for the commission to consider here before you as a preliminary hearing. The request is that this motion or the motion be made to set this to public hearing. Within your staff report, you will identify the exhibits that were included. And in the staff report, it identifies also the new sections that were added, and then a brief summary of what those sections include. However, the full report or the full proposed ordinance can be found online within this agenda item. So that is what's being presented here as an amendment to the PUD to expand on bulk standards, uses, design, and procedures for the Camaro Technology Park.
Okay, any questions for staff? This is a preliminary hearing. So it's part of the process, folks. Public hearing on this will be next month, should we get there. Nothing for staff. Somebody from the petitioner would like to speak on this, please come to the microphone, state your name and address, please.
Good evening. My name is Gary Warfel. I am with Saxon Partners. Our entity, address 25 Recreation Park Boulevard, Hingham, Mass. We are the owners through our entity of the former Lansing Country Club. And that site, actually, just for clarification, is a 150-acre site, which is bifurcated by the state line. The majority of that land is in Munster, Indiana. The site that we are here speaking about is only the southern portion of the two parcels that are in Indiana. And it's a 59-acre site that is south of the 150-foot NIPSCO right-of-way and all the utility infrastructure that exists on that site. This petition is not related to the north parcel, which is the lake and surrounding trails that front the Pensy Greenway and the homes on Pippin Drive. So, good evening, councilors, commissioners, town council and staff. Always a pleasure to be in front of our town council and plan commission. We've been here for the last 5 years. It's been a long process. We have looked at several options along the way for this site. The most challenging part of the site is it never had access to Munster. In fact, you can't even see it, for most points in Munster. It's landlocked. We spent 4 years working with the town, and with NIPSCO, to put a roadway access across one of the most sensitive utility right-of-ways in the Midwest. And we were able to accomplish that through a lot of cooperative planning with NIPSCO in the town. So we do have the ability to activate one of the most important economic development opportunities that exist, not only. Just hold on. Economic development opportunity that exists in Northwest Indiana and the state. Economic development is important. It brings in revenue to the town. With any development, some of the young gentlemen spoke earlier, any development always has its downsides. There are environmental consequences. There are people that are for and against it. What we're doing tonight is just presenting a set of standards that go with an ordinance that's already been adopted as a Kenmore Technology Park. So we have uses that cover a number of things. We've spoke to several potential users on this site, ranging from biopharmaceutical facilities to cogeneration facilities to light manufacturing. Our goal is to bring research and development, innovation, and technology to Munster to promote not only uses that generate strong revenue for the town, but uses that can be done responsibly and also that can be done in cooperation with a cooperative education program with Munster High School. So there's a number of benefits that exist on this site, but I'll admit that there are a number of good points that were raised this evening. I can't say I disagree with many of them, but one of the things that we have to do, we would like to do, and part of this initiative is to put better guidelines on what any kind of technology, data center, whatever you want to call it, might be. We are not putting forth a proposal for a data center. That's not what this petition plan application is. And what I would like to ask of the commission is that we take this to public hearing to allow the public not only to hear more about what it is, our vision is, what we're trying to accomplish, but to give the public a better forum to express some of their opinions and concerns, which can't be done tonight because this is just a preliminary hearing. So I think in the sake of time, what I'd like to do is, and I'm here with Scott Yaney too, who's our local counsel, I would like to just turn it back to you and see if there's any questions that we can possibly answer to help make the process a little smoother.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for the petitioner?
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple of questions. You talked about the revenue for the town, the revenue for our schools. You mentioned co-op programs at Munster High School, are changing diploma. Maybe that's what you're talking about. If you could expand on that and let us know what some of those benefits would be.
Yeah, great question. So one of the things we did at the last town council meeting was we have agreed to reimburse the town of Munster for a $50,000 economic impact study that would be done by the financial advisor to the town for whatever use we're proposing. And honestly, we don't have a specific use that will come in the future. But we believe that any use that's promoted or proposed for this site should include a very detailed economic impact study, so we understand where, and somebody mentioned this before, where does the money go? From that additional assessed value, that additional tax, and with technology uses, there are some substantial sources of revenue. So I think it's up to us in the town and financial advisor Baker Tilly to really clearly let everyone know what does that revenue stream look like and where does it go. We know it's gonna come into Parks and Recreation. It's gonna come into the school town of Munster. Some of it's gonna go to the state. I mean, it's gonna go through a number of different uses, just like any tax revenue does anywhere in the state of Indiana.
Any other questions or comments for the petitioner?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. As we're looking at this special assessment or special zone. Like, what this is allowing the town to do is to work with you together to develop this list of protections and measures and different things that are gonna protect the town. Keep it safe, look out for all the future, the environment, all that stuff. And as a developer, you're gonna look at this list and have to check the boxes that we decide on to make sure that we're all on the same page and going forward.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. You know, we've been working together for 5 years. I've been working with the prior administration. I consider ourselves responsible developers. You've seen that. I think we've proven that, and we're patient. I think this is a great enough asset that I think we should take our time and work together and find out what really is the highest and best use. And how can we, capture the benefit fiscally, but at the same time mitigating any kind of environmental, negativity that might exist. And that is possible. There's no question.
Any other questions for the petitioner? Thank you, sir. I bring it back to commissioners, save.
I think it's important for the public to understand that as we're moving this, if we are moving this to a public hearing, we are not approving a data center. I just want everybody to understand that, like, we are moving it to preliminary or to public hearing. And we are basically opening up that discussion for a technology park that doesn't necessarily say data center. I just feel like that needs to be-
All right. Please. All right, any other, comments for the petitioner? None, bring it back to the board. What say you?
I'd like to make a motion to schedule a public hearing for PC 26-006. A proposed amendment to the Kenmara Technology Park Planned Unit Development District for July 14th, 2026, including all discussions and findings.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Councilman seconds, is there any discussion?
I also want to state that just because we're moving it forward to the next step, doesn't mean we're guaranteeing or approving anything. It's just that we need to take this, and the petitioner has the opportunity to hear from the public has the opportunity to hear and read what's being put forward. It's just another step in the process, and it's not any guarantee that it's going to be approved. I want you to know that. I want you to hear that from me.
There's a motion and second, any other discussion? Either none, Mr. Mendoza.
Counselor Hopper.
Yes.
Counselor Nellens.
Yes.
Commissioner Brannigan.
Yes.
Commissioner Johns.
Yes.
Commissioner Ratham.
Yes.
Commissioner Baker.
Yes. All right, we'll see you all next one. All right, next up is findings of facts. Go. Thanks for speaking. So, findings of facts is PC 26-005, PUD amendment, allow a advertising.
Session, please be quiet.
You might want to rethink your see you next month thing. Or what? Your see you next month thing is a little confusing. Maybe.
Yeah, it's not like a building. Yeah. Yeah, I did.
All right, next up is findings of fact, PC 26-002, PUD amendment, Bill Holohan of Absolute Advertising on behalf of Franciscan Health Munster received a favorable recommendation to amend the Franciscan Alliance Plan Unit Development PUD, which addendum for signage standards for building expansion at Franciscan Alliance at 701 Superior. Findings of facts of what happened last month, what say you?
Chairman, motion to approve PC 26-002 findings of fact.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? There not, Mr. Mendoza.
Counselor Hopper. Yes. Counselor Nellens.
Yes.
Commissioner Brannigan.
Yes.
Commissioner Johns.
Yes.
Commissioner Lappin.
Yes.
And Commissioner Bacon.
Yes. Moving right along, next up, other business, PC 25-004, Powers Health 800 MacArthur Plan Unit Development, the final plat Mylars for signature. Is there something specific that needs to happen there, Mr. Mendoza?
Nope, we just need this on record that, you guys will be signing it this evening.
We'll be signing it this evening. So the Mylars for Powers Health. Next up is our meeting, which is July 14th, 2026. I look forward to seeing you all then.
Can I make a comment, or a question for Mr. Mendoza? I will be on vacation next month. I plan to be online. Am I able to vote during?
As long as we have, 4 other members present in person.
And your face is showing.
Yes, and you have to camera the whole thing.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second, and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you very much for helping us make Munster better.
Well, I like it.
You want to hold up?
That's one way to.
Ask Mr. Baker.
I think what? Ready?
There you go. Thank you for reading that. No.